to support a dedicated company to market and administer your account. We do all this, and realtors always ready to serve you, while T's crossed and I's dotted. Companies that are modern new offices, designed to enrich your buying and selling experience. The Conifers, Real Estate Victoria.
There are no shortcuts to good taste at Paradise Island Cheese. They set the standard for quality without compromise across their entire product line. It starts with 100% pure Canadian milk with no antibiotics, growth hormones, or artificial preservatives. And Paradise Island Cheese is a family-run business dedicated to high quality at an accessible price. Their commitment to 100% natural products have earned them the Blue Cow Seal, and that's something to moo about. Vancouver Island's Paradise Island Cheese. Quality without compromise.
You've run a great business, but want to retire. We have advice for succession planning and get the biggest bang for your charitable giving buck. This and more on the next Wealthy Life.
Join Silverbridge for the Wealthy Life, Sunday at 6:30 on Check. Over 50 years of great storytelling. Stories of crime and punishment, of heroes and villains, of the famous and the unknown. 60 Minutes, Sunday night at 7. Tune in to Vancouver Island's only full hour of weekend news, weather, and sports. News at 5 with Calvin Tell, Saturday and Sunday on Check.
This is daunting. My son's life is hanging in the balance.
The punishment phase of Bart Whitaker's trial is underway. And his father, Kent, hopes he can persuade the jury to forgive Bart as he has.
Ladies and gentlemen, the jury may not have the same faith. They may not have the same beliefs about what should happen to somebody, but is it your desire that they assess a life sentence in this case?
It has been from the start, and it still is.
Would Tricia feel the same way?
I promise you, yes, she would have been involved with the state chose to pursue the death penalty in this case.
But it will take more than the wishes of Kent or Tricia to spare their son's life.
Call you deputy. Paul Whitaker needs to be sworn.
Please stand for clerk to be sworn.
To everyone's surprise, Bart decides to put his fate in his own hands and speak directly to the jury.
I am 100% guilty for this. I put the plan in motion. If I had not done so, it would not have happened.
And do you realize that you robbed your mother of a full life? You robbed Kevin of a full life? You actually even robbed your father of a full life. Do you feel any remorse for this?
Yes, sir.
Who do you feel remorse for?
Everyone should go in the world, starting with my dad, my mom, and my brother. Everyone I feel sorry that hadn't come in contact with me.
Bart is finally asked the question on everyone's mind.
Can you answer the question, why?
No, sir. I've come up with a lot of reasons for how I got to where I was going, if they do not explain it. I always felt that whatever love they sent me was conditioned on I felt like a beach.
Bart Whitaker claims that he felt unloved and felt he couldn't live up to his parents' expectations. Correct. There's no evidence whatsoever that this family ever did anything to him. They loved him unconditionally.
I think he came to the decision that, I hate myself. I hate this life. I mean, if there's just some way I can get out of it. Maybe if my family was gone, I could be free of this and live a real life.
For Bart's life to be spared, he must convince the jury he is no longer a threat to anyone in or out of prison.
Do you have any designs on any conduct that would in any way, shape, or form hurt another individual?
No, the only people I ever hated, and I know it's not for the right reasons, but the only people I ever hated were my parents and my brother.
fact, the irony of it all is that your dad is actually the one that's come to your rescue and put you back on track.
He's become my best friend last year.
Past witness. So, I assume you're going to be a while.
That's a good shape. Fred Felchman has waited nearly 2 years for this moment.
Your mother loved you. It's her whole life was you and Kevin. But then you tell me you never felt loved by your parents.
Yes, sir.
Do you find things scary about this?
There's something tragic about it.
It's tragic? That I've got a defendant who's that out of touch with reality?
Felchman wants to convince the jury that Bart Whitaker's disconnect with reality makes him dangerous.
If somebody interacts with Bart Whitaker, he can be on a totally innocent basis, and you decide to perceive it different, you could kill that person.
No, I couldn't.
You killed your mother and brother on totally false circumstances.
Sorry, I was a different person then.
Felchman reminds the jury of the lives Bart took.
You see your brother when you ran him?
Yes, I did.
He was gardening in his own blood. You know, I watched this whole trial, you've never cried till now.
I do.
Why are you crying now?
Bart tries one last time to convince Felchman and the jury that he has changed.
Do you believe a person can't be sorry for the things they did?
No, I think they can be, Mr. Whitaker. But I don't think you are. I think you're sorry you got caught and now you're trying to figure out how to get out of debt.
It took jurors only 10 hours to reach a verdict.
The court does at this time all those verdicts determine that she be sentenced to death.
Bart Whitaker is to die.
What did that do to you inside?
The feeling was a great deal of disappointment. Bart has taken it upon himself to teach Kevin how to ride the bicycle.
Despite all that he now knows, Kent Whitaker says he will never abandon his son.
Tricia and Kevin, I miss them, but they're in heaven, and I'm going to heaven, and I have no doubts about that. I want Bart up there too.
Someday in the future, you're going to get a phone call from somebody to tell you that Bart Whitaker has been put to death.
Yeah.
What will that day be like for you, do you think?
Been through that before. There will be a certain sadness, but it won't be for Bart Whitaker. It will be for the father. It will also be a sense of satisfaction too, though. Justice has been done in this case.
Over the next decade, Kent Whitaker tirelessly lobbies the state for his son's death sentence to be commuted to life. But when Bart's appeals are exhausted, his execution is scheduled for 6 p.m. on February 22nd, 2018. The week before his son is to be put to death, Kent, now remarried, makes one last desperate plea for mercy to the Texas Board of Pardons and Paroles.
We're not asking them to forgive him or to let him go. We just want them to let him live. Bart was my last surviving member of my natural family, and nobody in my family wants to see him executed.
Just 2 days before the sentence is to be carried out, the board makes what could be a life-saving recommendation.
The recommendation for Clemens.
I don't think he's going to believe it. He's going to believe it. This is Texas. This doesn't happen, and I'm just so encouraged.
It's ready to be strapped to the gurney. With less than 40 minutes to go, CBS Austin News starts with breaking news.
Less than an hour.
Not a word.
I was 10 years old. The phone rang. Something was wrong. My grandmother. She was dead. And not just dead, murdered. This is Knock Knock, the unsolved murders of Betty Jones and Catherine Krigler.
What was done in that house was as bad as anything Catherine for every kid. They developed a DNA facial recognition of the killer. Now I know what she looked like. I'm going to get you.
Never in a million years did I think that we would get answers so quickly.
News at 5 with Stacey Ross. Weeknights on Channel
11 muted with a high wind warning. Strong winds are heading our way. Possible gusts over 15 miles an hour in and around Seattle. This is a live look at the Cairo 7 pinpoint storm tracker. We are timing out when we could see the strongest gusts around western Washington. Cairo 7 Chief Meteorologist Morgan Palmer is in the Pinpoint Weather Center tracking this for us right now, Morgan.
Right, and not just Seattle, Tacoma, Bremerton. No, these are areas where I'm especially concerned over the next few hours. Some of our most heavily populated areas with strong winds coming up from the south. Let's take a wide look. What's happening out there? This is not your classic windstorm. This is sort of an unusual windstorm that's sort of in an oval shape, but it's swinging very quickly like this up into western Washington. And that's going to maximize wind gusts in the overnight hours in a few areas around the sound. Now, what's happening outside right now? Absolutely nothing. And that's how this storm is going to be in the Portland area. Winds blow very quickly through the evening. Winds in McMinnville and Salem have already gusted over 50 miles an hour. The wind gusts there not quite as strong now. Here's the Cairo 7 pinpoint wind tracker. This is happening in just the next few hours. By midnight tonight, winds in Chehalis could start to rise into the 40s. Then we're looking at 40s. And there's the potential for 50-plus mile-an-hour wind gusts. I'm especially concerned again about Pierce County, King County, and Kitsap County. This is where a high wind warning is in effect. And then eventually, as we go beyond 3 to 4 a.m., winds calm down towards Seattle South. We get strong winds across the north where there's a high wind warning in effect. I'm going to take this pinpoint wind tracker, go county by county with a lot of cities on the map so you can see the wind speeds forecast where you live straight ahead.
We'll check in with you in just a bit. Thanks so much, Morgan. Right now, a man and woman are in the hospital after a crash on I-5 near the Alvaro Street exit. This is video from just an hour ago when firefighters worked to rescue a woman trapped in a car after crashing into the guardrail. Firefighters say she and a man were injured, but they are stable. It is the end of day 15 of the partial government shutdown and the hundreds of thousands of federal employees not getting paid. That's taking a toll at SeaTac Airport. TSA union officials say some agents are simply calling out sick across the country. And Cairo 7's Dee Son explains how it's causing huge delays in the security process for passengers.
SeaTac was dealing with a shortage of TSA agents even before this government shutdown, and now the situation is even worse. So the security line isn't too bad right now. It looks manageable, although long. But we heard from airport and airline employees that the wait for passengers to get through in the morning was taking hours, meaning some even missed their flights.
I think it's ridiculous.
The government shutdown is now starting its third week. As federal employees, like TSA agents, continue to work without pay, some are calling in sick. At New York's JFK International Airport, as many as 170 TSA Day 15. This is the fourth longest government shutdown in modern day history. There was a 16-day shutdown back in 2013, but with no end in sight right now, it looks like this round is going to surpass that. At SeaTac Airport, Dee Son, Cairo 7 News.
The Seahawks put up a great fight in their NFC wildcard game against the Cowboys, but it just wasn't enough tonight. The loss ends a run of 9 straight victories and playoff openers for Seattle. Cairo 7's David Solano is live for us tonight in Arlington, Texas. And David, the Cowboys outrushed the Seahawks 164 to 73 yards.
Yeah, Lindsay, those numbers you just mentioned right there really tell the story of what happened in this NFC wildcard game. A back and forth contest, as we all saw, but the Hawks just not able to really get things done on third down in this ballgame. Let's get right to the highlights for you and show you what happened. Let's go to the fourth quarter, and there goes Cowboys running back Ezekiel Elliott. He's able to find that end zone for the go-ahead touchdown. Zeke rushes for 137 yards. And then when Dallas gets the football back, quarterback Dak Prescott is able to break through for the 1-yard touchdown. This is obviously huge, but Russell Wilson and the Hawks continue to fight out there. Wilson able to connect with J.D. McKissick for a 7-yard touchdown. Hawks adding a 2-point conversion soon after. So now they're only down by just 2. But then Michael Dixon tries to drop kick the ball, and the Cowboys are able to recover, and that's going to do it. The Cowboys take it 24-22. We caught up with the Seahawks about what happened in the ballgame.
Just because what happened in the first quarter doesn't mean it's going to happen all day long. We can get started any time. We kept the thought that it was going to happen. But the crux of the matter was third down. You don't get the third down conversion, so you don't get your next shot to call all your stuff. The game plan gets left in the bag a little bit.
Obviously, we fell short. this isn't what we play for. This isn't the feeling that we want to be able to have. But at the end of the day, life goes on.
Came back at the ball and scored almost under